Ino Yamanaka's mission goes wrong. She was trained to invade minds, not lose her own. This is the story of a mission that turned a kunoichi into something far darker. The moon hung low in the sky as Ino Yamanaka arrived at the gates of Hiroshi Akamoto's sprawling estate in the land of water. The air was thick with mist, wrapping the mansion in an eerie shroud. Her mission was straightforward: pose as a courtesan, infiltrate the household, and uncover the source of the nobleman's rumored experiments with forbidden jutsu. However, whispers of strange disappearances and haunting screams from the estate had reached even Konoha, and the mission had been deemed high risk. Ino had volunteered without hesitation, confident in her infiltration skills and her clan's mind-based jutsu. Dressed in an elegant yet revealing kimono, her usual forehead protector replaced with ornate hairpins, she entered the mansion with a graceful bow. The guards barely glanced at her, their hollow expressions deeply unnerving. As she was led deeper into the estate, a sense of unease crept over her. The walls seemed to pulse, and the air grew heavy with an oppressive energy that clung to her skin. Hiroshi Akamoto was a tall man with sharp features and cold, piercing eyes. He greeted her with a smile that never reached them, and dismissed the servants with a flick of his hand. "You'll fit in well here," he murmured, his smooth voice carrying an unmistakable undercurrent of malice. Over the next few days, Ino mingled with the other courtesans, playing her role flawlessly. Despite her efforts, the atmosphere of the mansion remained suffocating. Whispers echoed through the halls and shadows shifted where there should have been none. She noticed the other courtesans avoided certain parts of the estate, their faces paling whenever the subject of the East Wing arose. Her curiosity was piqued. Late one night, she slipped out of her quarters and made her way toward the Forbidden Wing. The further she ventured, the colder the air became, the oppressive energy pressing down on her with increasing intensity. The walls were lined with grotesque murals depicting twisted faces and clawed hands reaching outward. At the end of the corridor stood a heavy wooden door carved with strange symbols. Inside, the room was dimly lit by flickering candles. A ritual circle had been drawn on the floor, its lines glowing faintly with an unnatural red light. In the center lay a tall, bound figure, a girl no older than 18. Her eyes were wide with terror, and her mouth had been sewn shut. Ino's stomach churned as she realized she had stumbled upon a dark ritual already in progress. Before she could react, the door slammed shut behind her. Komoto emerged from the shadows, his face twisting into a grin. "I was wondering how long it would take you to find this place," he drawled, his voice dripping with malice. "Yamanaka are always so predictable." His hands formed unrecognizable seals faster than Ino could react. The circle flared to life, and the bound girl seemed to convulse. A guttural, inhuman scream filled the room as a dark mist rose from the girl's body, twisting and writhing before lunging straight at Ino. She tried to flee, but the mist enveloped her, forcing its way into her mouth and nose. Pain erupted in her mind as the entity began to merge with her. Images of blood, death, and agony flooded her vision. She screamed, clutching her head as the spirit fought for control. Her training in the Yamanaka clan's mental techniques allowed her to resist, but she could feel her will weakening. The entity whispered to her, promising power beyond imagination if she would only surrender. Akamoto watched with a satisfied smirk. "You'll make a fine vessel for my creation," he remarked. His gloating was short-lived. Summoning every ounce of her willpower, Ino unleashed a burst of chakra that momentarily forced the creature back. She lunged forward, her kunai slicing through Akamoto's throat in a single fluid motion. He collapsed, clutching his neck as blood poured from the wound. However, his death did not stop the ritual. The entity, now enraged, surged back into Ino's body, its presence overwhelming her completely. Her vision darkened as her consciousness was swallowed by shadows. When Ino awoke, she was no longer herself. Her reflection in a nearby mirror revealed glowing red eyes, deathly pale skin, and veins darkened with corruption. The entity spoke from within her, its voice a fusion of her own and something far more sinister.
You fought well, little Kunoichi, but now we are one.
She tried to resist, but her body moved without her consent. The spirit controlled her like a puppet, its laughter echoing endlessly inside her mind. She left the mansion as flames consumed it behind her. The cries of the other courtesans were drowned out by the roar of the fire. As she disappeared into the misty night, her mind screamed in silence. The entity had taken everything: her body, her mission, her soul. She was now a vessel for its dark will, a weapon created to spread corruption. And deep down, she knew there would be no escape. The end.